Hey, Besiegers, how you doing? Okay, got a packed one for you today. Lots of interesting stuff, very varied. For example, we've got this here beast here, this is the BBC, the big bomb chucker. So I'll take a look at that. And then we'll look at some new tank architecture and see how that's evolving. Quite pleased with that was good fun making. Then we will look at this fella here, chucking smaller bombs, and we'll see how that was done. And then we'll put the two of them together using BSG Make, and we'll have a little battle. We'll also have a little tutorial, and I will introduce you to a new mod called the BS mod. Now, it doesn't stand for Bullshitters mod, which means it shows you how to make a killing machine with half a block and then do all 30 levels in 2 minutes. I think Ross can do that though without a mod. So no, it's not that. I'll show you later. Okay, first a little word about subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed yet...
Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it!
Subscribe to this channel now.
Just do it!
Okay, so mostly today we're going to be focusing on steam-propelled bombs. Right, it's quite a big thing just now, everyone's into it and it seems to be a resurgence. Later on I'll show you how to do this, but for now what we're going to concentrate on is gravity-fed launchers, because I've discovered that they perform at their best when you drop it into the stream rather than just having the stream operate behind it and releasing them. As you can see, it's very effective, it fires them very quick. There is a limit on how quickly you can drop them though, because the power, as you can see there, they start to drop lower. So there's an interval that you have to find in order to make it work all the time at the same height. But we'll go into that later on. For now, just thought you would like to see that. Now, did you know that you can lift up that blue flame in the Sacred Flame thing? I didn't know that. It was Chip2222 that told me this. And so I thought, well, let's try and make a little launcher using the heater. And of course, it works. Like a treat, like a charm. Fantastic. And very graphic as well. I love that blue colour. I absolutely love it. So much so that I made a little card. I said, look at that, it's beautiful. You like that? Look at those gorgeous shadows. This Besiege is such a graphically gorgeous game. It's so nice. Oh, love it. Alrighty, let's get on to the BBC. That's the big bomb chucker. Now, this I wanted to do a magazine fed machine, right? So the idea is that it holds 12 or 11 bombs, and it's just a rotating magazine at the top. And I made the whole thing sort of round. It was a bit of a mistake, really, because it's quite an ungainly machine. But its fire rate was calculated so that it would pretty much fire them all at the same time. It gave enough of a gap between each bomb so that it could pick up enough steam. So it worked well. Didn't always work well. A couple of explosions along the way, as you'd expect. Nobody was killed, sadly. But it's damned accurate. Use the braces there. You can see the two black brace heads. We'll go into that later. Use them for aiming, just to get you sort of generally lined up. This one is not great at lining up because of... Oh, him again.
Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Come on, shy out of the road. Okay, so yeah, it's good at pinpointing, and it can fire right off the map. Super power. A good trick is if you get it lined up with 3 or 4 targets, or even more, you can get good enough to pick them off even without using the brace sights. So I quite like that. It was good fun. I had a lot of time doing that, making a mess of the sandbox and shooting the place up. But isn't that what we all do? You know? Okay, so what next? Well, I'll have one more go at this first. Sorry. I did this a few times actually. It's a lot easier than you would think. And it's just again just to test the accuracy of the machine and just to see if it's capable of delivering those kind of results. But it does. That bam, away it goes. One last time, and then we'll move on to something else. Way went high. Oh, look at that lovely shot. Now then, I'm not completely finished with tanks, as you can see, so I can't quite get it out of my system yet. So I spent a bit of time designing this one, which has got parallel braces close up together to form nice smooth body panels. It's got a nice built-in heavy duty turntable, and as you can see, it runs on blades. Now the blades are good and bad. The good look great and they're very grippy, but that's also a problem because when you're trying to turn with them, you can grip to the ground a little bit and cause ripples going through. Just before I abandoned this particular tank, I put this. This is ball joints done in Editor Plus, and you can see it's got a lovely sort of alien look to it. I really like that. As you can see, it climbs beautifully. It really does, and it's a great job of it. However, there was too many blocks in this one, and that's why I abandoned it. I couldn't get a big gun into it, so I switched. Took it all, ripped it all out, kept the tracks, and rebuilt this bad boy. This is the grenade launcher, mobile grenade launcher. I spent the most of the time this week building this. It runs on a paintball gun principle, where you've got the hopper at the top and it's just dropping them in. And inside, as you will see later on, there's a little agitator that times how often they can get out, because it's rotating. It's very, very simple. Really, really simple. And it works really well. Again, this one has got good accuracy. I played a lot of games with this. One of them we'll get to in a bit, was let me see the accuracy guy. And of course, thanks for subscribing. Sorry about subjecting you to Shia LaBeouf, but I really needed his help. You have subscribed, haven't you? Yes? No?
No! What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
That's the last we'll see of Shia for a while, or until the end. In fact, right, okay, so going back to the bit with the grenade launcher, this is how it looks before you hit spacebar. I've loaded it with about 30 or so grenades, and you can put more in. I reckon it'll hold nearly double that. And one good game I found was aiming grenades at the windows in the tower, because it will actually get some in through that, and it'll test the accuracy. And then at the end of it, you have there you go, see the hopper inside. At the end of it, you have a wee look inside and see how many you managed to get through. So let's try the tracks out. Because it's got a big wobbly head on it, it's a little bit more wobbly as it goes along, but it's still not too bad at all. You can see it trying to over grip the ground when it turns. That's because of the sticky blades. But yeah, I think it's I'm working with it. I'm using reaction wheels here to turn it, but maybe if I used a different system, it would turn easier. But, so that's that. Right, we'll have another pop at this tower, get them in through the window. You see, I'm using the braces this time, getting it lined up with the windows, just generally, and then you fine tune it as you go on, and then you start plinking them in. And we'll zoom in on it, and you can see it actually going in the window, but a lot of them are coming right out the other flipping side. You can see them in the distance. So that's a bit of a swizz. So it's just a matter of how many could park actually in the thing. And it just became a bit of a game, a way of testing the equipment and seeing how accurate it was. I think this time I managed to get, 3. 2 on the floor and 1 embedded in the wall. Glitchy. Physics is fun, but glitchy physics is funnier. And then you blow up at your leisure, and then you just crawl all over it. So yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so it's up on the workshop now, and please upvote it if you're there. You know me, I just love that. Anyway, okay, here we are. I thought we would take the 2 of those models and meld them together using BSG Make by Ekbriligas, you know, the little tool that we've been using in the past for the fighting. So I just wanted to see how these 2 guys get on, because one of them is fast and quick and durable, and the other one is vulnerable but very powerful. And it was just great fun trying the 2 out. So I hid one behind the walls at Duke's, and then put one out front and made them slog it out. And yeah, I might even put this up as a BSG as well, the 2 machines together, so that you can do the same thing, because it is a bunch of fun having something else to shoot at other than the towers and the usual castles and stuff, you know. So that's yeah, and you can put them in all sorts of situations, fighting in all sorts of places, together or against each other. So yeah, I might do that. Obviously, a big increase in the block count, but hey, that's it. It's good fun, terrific fun. I actually brought in 3. I brought in my old, my first serious tank. And you can see once it's killed this opposition, this thing's still got a lot of firepower left, and it just goes after him. Tears it down just with the physical bombardment. Here we go. Yeah, I brought the other tank in a triple BSG, but I messed it up and it sort of collapsed when I brought it in. But I thought it's too much anyway. Too many blocks. There you go. Like I said, it can rip the buildings apart after it's finished off its opponent, and then you press K and everything blows up. It's just triple fun. You just can't lose with this one. It's great. Okay, a few minutes of very light tutorial. I just thought I would show you, for anyone who doesn't know, how to make the how to multiplace these the water cannon so that you can get that increased power effect. Now, I've discovered that if I've got this new BS mod on, I can place them automatically without actually having to do anything. Yeah, but if I disable that, I can't. So I can just go bang, bang, bang and put 4 cannons on the one block, just like that. However, if you haven't got that, you can do it using Editor Plus. Yeah, as you can see, we're just demonstrating the extra power, but we'll demonstrate that later. Okay, now using the Editor Plus gives you a few advantages that I also found, but I didn't record here, but I'll tell you about them. You cannot change the parameter values or anything like that when you're multiplacing them in one block all at the same time, like the trigger key or whatever. But you can do it when you use Editor Plus. So what you do with Editor Plus is you place the water cannon down, place one beside it, open it up, and then just select your arrows, and then just move the one you selected across one until it's in the same space as the original. It's really that simple. But what you can do is, like I say, you can trigger the first one with the letter Y as normal, and then the next 3 or 4 with the letter U. So that gives you a turbo boost, so you can go on low power just for low level stuff, and then when you hit U, you dramatically increase the power. So yeah, well, we just go ahead and do this, and you stick a torch on it. Yes, it's quite basic. Put a little tack pin in there. Now, the other things that I noticed was that there is a factor about how close to the nozzle of the cannon affects the eventual speed and performance of the ballistics. Yeah, the further away, the slower and lower it goes, and the closer you get, the faster it goes. It's kind of obvious. Also, is like that interval I told you about earlier on. There has got to be a large enough interval to allow the stream to recover whatever power it is that it uses to project. But you've seen that in my bombers earlier on. So this is just a basic principle, just to show you how it's done. You can make one yourself. Again, can be stable with about 4 or 6 cannons all on the one block. Any more than that, and they start to get wobbly when you hit spacebar. They're all over the shop. So I found 6 is about my limit, but 4 gives you plenty of power. So I just stick with the 4. Quite happy with that. So yeah, this was me just bringing it back the way a little bit, and as you see, I should have been pointing that out to you as I went along there, and now you'll see it's got a little bit more energy. It really takes off, and it goes much, much further. I mean, that would cover 2 maps, never mind 1. So that's how you deal with the power and the angle and the drop and the placements with the water cannons. Okay, next we will move on to the BS mod, which is very much like Editor Plus and very much like PBP2, but it's not quite as fully featured as those two yet, and there's things that they do that it doesn't, but there's also little things that it does that they don't. Now, I'm not an expert in it yet, so I'm just introducing you to it today, and I'm trying out this new magnification thing here, whereas you can see the panel on the left-hand side of the screen, and it's just so that I can practice for future tutorials explaining it, because you've got to be able to see what I'm clicking, so it's kind of difficult. Okay, so this one works post-place, mostly. It can work in the other direction as well. And what you do is you place a block, and it will either automatically highlight itself, turn green, if you've got that A ticked, the little white A at the top, and if you untick that, it doesn't. Now, that gives you lots of options in itself, but generally once the thing has been turned green, and you turn green just by pressing G and hovering over it, and that makes it the selected block, one block at a time only. You then mess around with these parameters at the bottom here, and it will adjust itself based on whatever you clicked. The letter C's in the faraway column are copies, so if you want it to maintain a movement or a parameter, then you press C beside that value, and then press the A+, and every time you place a block, it will get those values. I'm not explaining it very well, and probably one of the reasons is because I don't really quite know it well myself enough. I'm just introducing this to you. So I've got a lot to learn. I'm going to mess about with it over the next 2 or 3 weeks. I have discovered there are some things that it does that the other two don't. I like the interface. The interface is nice and clean, and I've been talking to Colt John. Colt John J96 is his name, but I'll put a link in the description so you can find him. Ask him questions about it. They don't like getting asked questions about it. None of the mods do. Not Tesseract Cat, not ITR, or not anybody, because they struggle with the descriptions. But it's okay because they give us their time for free to make these things. So I will leave you with Shia doing his calisthenics here. And I'll catch you on the next video. If you've made it this far, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure making this one. It's quite complicated and very involved. And I will see you on the next one. Okay? Thanks, folks. Bye.